No, that's all right. Thanks, mate. If 10 doesn't get the taste out of my mouth, nothing will.
Is that's on you, Joes?
Scouts, welcome back to the We Got the Chocolates podcast. I'm Leigh.
I'm Mitch.
I'm Andrew.
Oh, just a regular start this time, which is
that was
weird.
nice.
We made you nervous by saying we hadn't planned anything, hadn't we?
I never just commit to my next sentence.
Yeah. This normal one caught me off guard a bit. I nearly forgot my name.
It is great to have you back with us for a post-match beer in your ears. You're joining us for all the things we would be talking about in the locker room this week. We Got the Chocolates. That's a win.
Nice.
That's just what it means.
Okay.
We Got the
I
Chocolates,
like
man.
it. Yeah. People always ask.
They always
Got
ask.
to tell them. That's what it means.
We Got the Chocolates, man. That's a win.
That's a win.
I'm with
It's
you.
winning.
Anyways, Gode, you
If
got a
you've got a
story
better way to
apparently?
summarise it, you go.
What?
Obviously not. Just tell your story.
Oh, so anyway, it took the we had something else down on the bloody run sheet, didn't you? You're skipping all over the joint. But
That's in housekeeping. I'll put it in the
what do you mean? But it doesn't matter. Anyway, I took Kathleen and I went down and got our flu jabs last week. Coming into winter, cold as mother-in-law's kiss.
is.
Don't want to get sick, do you?
freezing.
It is so cold.
Hang on,
honestly.
sorry, I'm distracted by the fact that you've read the bloody run sheet for once. So can you?
For once, mate, please.
I just had to check what
I
you were talking about. How do you know the run sheet better than I know the run sheet?
Because I'm not an
I
idiot.
spent the last 2 hours reading it.
Yeah, I know.
What?
Well, that says a lot.
Anyways,
No, that says more about
I get
you
it.
than
I
does
get it.
about
I
me.
got it. Yeah, all right. I get it. But point is, I missed the start of this story. Go again.
Yeah, so Kathleen and I went down and we had the kids. Kathleen and I went and got our flu jabs last
Okay.
week.
Thank you. All right.
So parked at the back of the chemist. We should have had to cross the road and went in, got the flu jabs. Anyway, I walked out. I had Maggie in the pram walking ahead.
Yep.
And like, it's not uncommon when you got babies, particularly little girls. Like, old people sort of smile and laugh at little girls and wave to them and all that stuff. So it's all fun.
Yeah, of
and a lot walking in, like more people than usual were doing that. I thought that's strange. I mean, she's a gorgeous little girl, obviously, but they're like smiling and laughing. And then I just kept walking. I'm like, this is happening too often. Anyway, I turned the corner, walked to the car, and I looked back, and Kathleen, my wife, and my little son Dom were like pissing themselves laughing at what's happened. And then Kathleen told me that Dom's drawstring on his jeans broke. And so he was walking down the street without Kathleen noticing that he was walking down the street bare ass.
What?
Wait, just getting a strong draft up the nose.
Yeah, because I dressed in that morning, free balling, no brainer.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, no brainer.
Yeah, that's less work for you.
Yeah,
That's
it's a genuine. And like I go, well, what do you want? Undies are free balling today. I say, free balling. Yeah, and
Does he ever choose undies?
sometimes when he goes to kindy, undies.
And obviously, if we got sponsored by an undies company,
If the wonderful people at Enter Company Name here want to sponsor some,
They've been reaching out to Dom.
reaching out to my 4-year-old.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Leader
so
of PR.
he was walking down Blackwood Street, Michelton, with his walking down nude.
So his pants had just fallen down to his knees.
Yeah, so he was sort of
He still
shuffling
had
like
his shorts. All right.
yeah, so he was shuffling like Nelson in The Simpsons. That episode, Nikos.
God, right.
You know what I'm talking about?
that's too early for a Simpsons.
No, it's
series.
not.
3 weeks they've been doing it. We still haven't done our homework. We just have to go back and rewatch
Yeah.
The Simpsons.
I don't know where to start.
Well, probably season 1. But
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
when did The Simpsons get good? What's the golden era?
I reckon between season 3 and 15.
3. That's a long golden era.
Maybe,
Nick, you've
do
got
it. You've got the mic up.
You've got a mic,
A little bit
mate.
later than 3, I think.
5 to 15.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it was like the graphics were dog shit for a while and stuff. You go back and watch the real early stuff and it was no
Yeah,
good,
but the
wasn't it?
content is just incredible.
And that's what we're about. It's a content-driven
Yeah, no, I
business.
like it. But they're still going, aren't they? Has anyone watched a recent Simpsons episode?
Not from probably season 18
Well,
onwards.
I haven't watched an episode, a new episode in a few years.
All right.
And
Yeah,
we do some pop culture on this podcast
no
as well,
brainer. Yeah.
obviously.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I've nothing more to add on the Simpsons topic. I'm probably tapped
Gode
out.
and I could talk about it for a
All
while,
day.
but we
Maybe we'll
won't.
make that a good
We'll
chats
start
episode or something. That
Nelson.
can be a bonus one. Yeah.
We'll start our own podcast, mate. Squillions.
Beautiful. All right.
Ideas.
Michael wants the mic back.
Easy, Mick.
Ideas.
No, thank you, Gode.
Mitch, on the count of 3, name your favourite Drew Barrymore film. Don't even think about it. 1,
Alright.
2, 3.
Go on the distance.
Oh, that's not. Well, that's. Why'd you choose that one?
Well, mate, I was just thinking how important it is tonight that we put in our best effort and last the entire duration of a full podcast episode.
Yeah, good point.
Wine skin. Also, our friends at Steady Freddy actually have a product that can help you last the full duration of well, maybe not an episode, but unless you're a little bit more forthcoming, I guess.
Well, interesting lingo. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Poor choice, but yeah, no, probably keep the cameras away for that one. You don't need to record it, but you do, of course, need the Steady Freddy delay spray.
And guys, it's really important because Steady Freddy are actually bringing the conversation of men's sexual health into everyday life.
Great addition, gang, and of course, the delay spray is for guys who experience premature ejaculation or just want to last a little bit longer in the bedroom.
And it is medically backed and created by Dr. David Reiner.
And often the delay spray is actually bought by females or partners who are wanting to, spice up their life in the bedroom as well.
Yeah, makes sense. That sounds familiar, but thankfully, the guys at Steady Freddy are giving us Shock Ledgers 15% off when you head to steadyfreddy.com and use the code WGTC15 at the checkout.
Yep, Steady Freddy for longer lasting sex. And let's get on with the episode.
Thank
If that
you.
brings your story to an end, mate, I might kick us off with a bit of housekeeping. A couple of reviews this week.
Oh, just before that, Skin,
Okay,
a couple of
don't
things
worry
to
about
cover
it.
from
Yeah,
We Got the Chocolate Central. Gode, massive congratulations on the, I think, 7-year wedding anniversary yesterday. Is that right, Genghis?
7 years, correct. You have been busy today, holy dooly.
Nicely done. Great touch.
And I'd just like to also mention...
Huge audience we've got here.
That was just Michael's hands. And I'd just like to also mention, Skin, I think you've got an exciting milestone relationship-wise coming up.
Yeah, big anniversary. 8 years tomorrow, actually. So, yeah, a little bit further along there, gang. You'll catch up one day, mate.
Yep. It's 8 years without a ring.
Yeah, 8 years together. Yeah, still no ring.
Sound like Nathan Highmarsh.
Still no ring.
That'll come up a bit later on, actually.
That's very good.
Sort of.
Yeah.
So anyway, well done, you two.
Anyways, yeah, there you go.
quality.
Thanks.
You're,
All right.
you're doing housekeeping.
Yeah, back to the reviews that I was about to read. So we've got one here from M. Kenny. Lads, what a pearler of a show to have come across. You happen to pop up in my Insta feed having a joke off, and I had to investigate.
joke.
Yeah, that's
know what that is.
That's why. That's why I wasn't all over what you had read in the sheet. I've spent so long making sure I got that one right.
Don't be such a jerk, Skin.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Anyways, and I had to investigate where this banter originated, and I was not disappointed, other than your first couple of eps.
They were disappointed.
We're happy to admit to that. Probably start with about episode, I don't know, 70.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good
96, I reckon.
Okay. No, there was a keep upholding the legendary status you hold. Okay, that's also questionable, but I'll take it. Kudos to you all. Definitely a bunch I would love to shout a few rounds of brews with. Okay, thanks. I'll take that too. Great people, of course. Cheers, XO.
Can I just make one comment?
Go for it.
Awesome review by M. Kenny. When it says XO, it's spelled EXOH. Don't know about that one.
Wow.
Dust, you're saying?
Yeah, not for me, but awesome review. So don't be
Yeah,
afraid
right.
to write again
That's-
just because of
I
that
read
one
it
small
as
misdemeanor.
Fine detail.
I read it as extra effort.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
happy with it.
How do they spell it in XOXO Gossip Girl? Lethal?
think
I know
probably
you've watched
XOXO
all
or-
17,000 episodes of that show.
Yeah, they do just spell it like they're playing a game
Just
of noughts and
XO,
crosses.
yeah, right, okay, gotcha. Good to know. Well, they're probably the masters to go to, I take it. Mossy has not even sure
Ian
how...
Moss, you reckon?
Huh?
Ian Moss, Cold Chisel?
Tucker's
Ian
daughter.
Moss,
Tucker's
don't know.
daughter.
Mossy says he's from Manchester, UK. So
Is he-
if that
he's
helps
not from
narrow
Bay
it down
River
a bit.
though, is he?
He's not. No.
Don't worry.
No, I haven't got it.
Cold chisel.
Cold
thing,
Chisel
yeah.
song. Come on, mate.
Okay, beautiful.
It was just a chisel. that
If I
was
could get
outside
back to the
tonight. It's
reviews,
freezing.
that'd be really nice. Yeah.
Tell me if you do a couple of Cold Chisel puns in between each.
Cold chisel.
Like mention songs of Cold Chisel and then try and like.
Oh,
grab arm
right.
in
I
there.
was trying to
That's
think
your
of a
job
joke about a chisel. Like I'm
Oh, no,
trying to
no,
get
no.
into woodworking or something.
Oh, okay. Nice.
yeah, nice try, I guess.
It's pretty cold tonight. If you could just get some flame trees for us. it'd be
Yeah,
Nice.
come on. Nice. You know what we're surrounded by here? 4 walls.
Very good. Yeah.
Any?
So the review. I reckon Flame Tree's about the only Cold Chisel song I know. Mum would have played that
When the war is over?
24/7 growing up, and I don't know what others.
Okay.
Anyways, moving on.
It's probably not the time or place.
Yeah, so just for the 15th time, I'm going to try and read this review here from Mossy. So not even sure how I got into podcasts. I don't follow or play sports. Maybe it's the dad jokes. Anyway, I love it. Don't know the psychology of why hearing a group of mates laughing together and at each other is infectious, but it is. Keep up the good work. Mossy from Manchester, UK. I guess.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's
Yeah,
our
I love
goal.
I love that too.
Thanks, Mossy.
Infectious.
Great review.
I've just put my phone away. If I don't still need the run sheet, I have no idea what's coming up.
That's
So,
all right. Well,
I've-
I'll tell you what's coming up.
I've memorised it. So
yeah, evidently.
Yeah.
So what are we doing, Gig?
we got a joke.
Joke of the
And
day.
we've got another one sent in. This one, keep sending them in too. Because we've had some bangers sent to the
keep
last
sending
few
in.
weeks.
Voice recordings have just proved. I really enjoy listening to them when they come in, like as an email in our inbox. As soon as you see one
Yeah,
that's
that's
been sent
exciting.
through as a voice message, you're like, oh, this
This
could be
is gonna be
anything. And in this case, it's
from- Oh, well, it's my segment, but no, you take the lead.
No, sorry. I'm just saying it was good.
Yeah, this one's from Jed.
Glad we worked that out.
I'm pleased we held for that.
Yeah, that was important. Here we go.
G'day guys, joke of the day here for you. So this bloke walks into a bar, says to the bartender, I'll have 10 shots of tequila, please. Bartender looks at him, goes, oh, it's a lot of shots. Bloke goes, yep, I'm celebrating tonight. No, righto, no worries. So pours in the shots. The bartender can't help himself. Says, mate, if you don't mind me asking, what are you celebrating? The bloke goes, I've just had my first blowjob. Bartender goes, congratulations, that's fantastic. You know what? Here's 11 shots. Have one on the house. Bloke goes, no, that's all right, thanks, mate. If 10 doesn't get the taste out of my mouth, nothing will.
Is that's on you, Joes?
Okay.
Remember I said that we had lots of them? That's the one you picked.
We actually did have lots.
Interesting. Probably not the route I would have chose. Or blowjob.
That's the reason I chose it.
But for that exact niche pun.
Yeah,
I knew you were
just to
going to hit me
open the
with
doors. Yeah.
Oh, my
Anyways,
God.
no, I'm sorry. I actually thought of a pun for a moment.
No, do it.
Say the
We'll
phrase.
intro the next
Say
bit.
the phrase.
That one was too bad. I don't know if...
No, do it.
Now you do one.
I think this... Okay, well, this podcast is potentially going to be R18. But anyways, I said just to open the doors to Gode's
no.
joke.
Oh, don't say that.
Open the rear doors. But
Oh.
I told you I didn't want to do it. You can't judge me.
I mean, in hindsight,
Shouldn't have
be
said-
hindsight.
I said I didn't want to do it, Gode. Wipe that bloody look off your face, man. Anyway.
No, I didn't think you would go there, I'll be honest with you.
Well, when I've got so few to work with, they only
Yeah, and that's the one you chose?
they only spring to mind so rarely for me, mate. I've got to, Anyways, moving on, shall we? We've earlier on in the night, we caught up with a great man, Tim, and obviously, Gode's running late and stuff, so there's a logistics issue, and we've had to have this chat a little bit earlier, but it went swimmingly, and here it is.
Or runningly.
Nice. Great.
That's really good.
You should just done that here rather than your joke about the bum.
I didn't want to make the joke about
Oh, we're talking. Sorry.
No, keep going. By all means, keep going.
I told you it was no good.
I mean, it wasn't the worst that you've produced.
It's pretty bad.
It's the worst I've heard.
Really?
Yeah, pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. Nah, well, just up there with OJ Simpson or bloody. What was your?
No, you told me
what
to
was
say
your-
that one.
I did not.
No, it's Gode's.
What's your bloody Pinocchio
Well,
nose or something? That's-
We can have a live discussion about whether we should be cutting out those jokes,
Maybe don't do that one again.
but we can't. We can't
No,
cut
it's
them out.
fine. It's fine.
We can't cut them out.
Of course,
O.J.
of
Simpson's
course we're
worse
not
than
cutting it. Of course, we're not cutting it.
Pinocchio.
We don't cut
worse.
stuff out.
That's
No,
what-
it's
I don't
far
think-
worse.
You told that joke about
I
the
don't
fucking
think- yeah.
Little Mermaid. That was shit. No, we've all told shit jokes.
Yeah.
Well, two of us have.
Michael. Now I'm going to have to put this back in. It's going to be so
The
hard
Jed
to know what
joke.
to cut out.
Yeah, well.
The Jed joke leads in that
The
direction.
Jed joke is rogue anyway.
It's if someone's going to be offended by my joke, they'll be offended by the Jed joke.
Yeah.
So
Whatever.
play on.
And
I don't-
whoever's
My joke's
offended-
obviously shitter, but that's fine.
Oh, I'm scared.
Come on. Come on. That's another
That's a
joke.
shitter.
After your joke.
That's not appropriate. I'm scared for that piece of anatomy.
You're a real ass, Skin.
That's not how I meant it. Anyways,
Right.
next seg.
When the Nelson thing, when I realised the episode, wave to the people. Oh, that kisses.
What happened? That rings a bell. What
Yeah, it
happened
was
there?
because he made fun of like a really... My choice of vehicle?
The huge dude.
guys need to watch
I
the-
don't have a clue.
I've now worked it out. The huge dude in the small car. Yeah. All right. Sweet.
Blow them kisses.
No idea. No idea for me.
That's one of the best scenes of all time.
That's up there.
I don't know how to put all this into YouTube.
Hey,
You cut a long time ago, I reckon.
Yeah, but we could cut back in for this.
That's a good point. Yeah.
just leave it all in.
Rolls.
All right, come on, let's get
into
let's
this
get
on YouTube.
moving.
Anyways, yeah, let's
Yeah, I agree with you, but just keep recording.
Yeah.
Keep rolling it. There'll be bits. Well, I've actually titled this segment Tim Runs the World, and the reason for that is neither of you two are named Tim, which means that we do have a guest on board this episode. Tim, welcome very much, and thanks for making your debut. Welcome very much, which is an interesting turn of phrase.
I've never heard anyone say that before.
I also didn't pick up on it. It's good pointed out.
I'll just admit to my faults and mistakes here. There's a few. Tim, thanks very much for making your debut on the We Got the Chocolates podcast, mate. And I thought we might start by actually it's really by fate that you even happened to be here, essentially, isn't it? Tell us that story.
Yeah, I was at a wedding. Well, first of all, it's great to be here, so thanks, lads, for having me.
Pleasure.
But a couple of weeks ago, I was at a wedding, and there was a filmographer there, and all the guys at the wedding sort of recognised him, but didn't know where we knew him from. So we're like, we're all getting around, and we're like, do we work with him? We play footy with him? Do we play footy against him?
He does not play footy.
Big shoulders, we thought.
That's what I thought too.
And then and then someone finally triggered that it was that guy from the TikTok We Got the Chocolates that laughed at every single dad joke. And it was Mick. So I went up and it was funny because I said, "Oh no, I'll go talk to him. He'll get it a lot. We'll get a lot." And I walk up to him outside of the wedding reception venue, and it must have looked like I was about to flog him because I've never seen a bloke more nervous. And he's like, "Oh, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. No one's ever recognised me."
Well, it's so funny to me you say that because literally as we were leaving last week, you guys look at it. I've only got one wish in my life is I want people to recognise me for the We Got the Chocolates podcast. Now it's actually happened. You remember that conversation too, don't you?
No, it's happened. So he grew a few foot taller for the rest of the night.
Great, man. Didn't it turn out that he had no idea who you were, but it already turned out he was following you on Instagram?
Yeah, so he goes, "I don't know who you are, but I know exactly who you are."
Yeah, that does sound like a Mick thing to say.
Makes total sense.
Yeah. Just really rattle you.
And it seems as you have recognised us from the dad jokes, I assume that you'd have to have a couple of those lined up, wouldn't you? Surely?
I've got. I told a couple of boys from that night that I was going on the podcast, and like, you've got to have some really terrible jokes.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
fit right in.
I've got none. And they're like, "Well, you got to have some running jokes." And I came up. Well, I didn't come up with one. I did some serious Google researching.
That counts as coming up with it.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah. And it's awful, but I'm going to run with it anyway.
Yeah, nice. Good start. Run with it.
So it's,
He's done one accidentally.
No pun intended. No pun intended. But it was, what do you get when you run behind a car?
I don't know.
Exhausted.
Oh,
that sucks.
It took me hours to Google
so
that.
bad, but so good.
usually exhaust actually blows.
Blows, come on. Otherwise it'd be you vacuum.
That's elite. And you may as well tell us. About. I titled the segment "Tim Runs the World." I've actually
You stole that from his website, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so
Stop claiming it.
Don't ruin the story, mate. I've also got a jingle. We're known for our elite jingles on this podcast.
I think I know what it is.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, just listen and tell me.
Yep. Thank you.
Tim. Tim. That's actually the first ever live jingle I've done.
Yeah. Can I also suggest,
It's actually 10 times better than your normal
yeah, that
jingle.
is good. Like you said, you're working on this a lot more recently and that, and like literally you've had like all week, right? We still only planned the show 3 hours ago, and that's what we've come up with this week.
I think that's brilliant. That's so much better because you didn't sing, you just spoke.
Yeah,
exactly.
Tim.
Might I remind you, we've got Tim on as a guest, so stop spraying me and start asking him questions.
Oh yeah,
Tim, what are you doing?
So what I'm going to attempt to do is be the fastest person ever to run around the globe. So I'm going to cover 26,232 kilometres by foot. The current world record is 434 days. Mm-hmm. That's set by a Frenchman by the name of Serge Girard. Mm-hmm. So my aim is to go 433 days or less.
Right.
And cover the journey.
Okay.
Where do you go? Like you said, obviously around the world.
Around the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's some water would get in the way and stuff.
Water makes it challenging. Yeah. So there are rules. So there's a organisation called the World Runners Association, which is just an arbitrary gentleman from Canberra that started it. He was just pissed off that people were claiming to have done all these runs, like pole to pole or fastest here or fastest there with no records or to confirm whether it happened. So he just started it. And so 4 people have done it to now. And I've got to go 26,232 kilometres as a minimum.
Yeah.
I've got to start and finish in exactly the same place.
Oh, wow.
I have to pass every line of longitude in one direction. I have to run on a minimum of 4 continents.
Yep.
And for a continent to count, I have to run a minimum of 3,000 kilometres. And I have to run within 1 kilometre of the ocean or major inlet on one side of the continent and finish within 1 kilometre on the other side of the continent.
Yes, I read that rule. Why not polish off the last kilometre?
Don't know. I think sometimes if there's like a rainforest or a national park or something, I don't know. Good question. I don't know. I don't know why that was a reason. I don't know why that's a rule. And then like I said, the minimum number of kilometres is probably the key thing.
Yeah.
And that's that 26,232.
Yeah.
So I want to get as close to that. I want to be running the 26,232 or 32nd kilometre on the last day.
Yeah.
Right.
So
You
I
know,
don't want to
and
do
I
it
imagine like the logistics of that, you'd have to have a good, like, we'll call it a race day team with you as well, like sort of guiding you as like distance poles or whatever it is. Like, I'm assuming you guys have got all that covered right now in your planning.
Yeah, yes, but it's funny. So I have to run 63 kilometres a day.
Yeah.
Every day that I run. So I get about 1 day off every 15 to 20 days is what we're planning to do. So I'm running 440 kilometres a week.
Okay.
And the team at the moment will be, I've got two girls, just friends of mine that have wanted to come with me on the journey. So we'll have hopefully an RV. If anyone owns a RV company out there that's looking to sponsor,
that'd be some good people.
They are wonderful people.
Whoever makes RVs, great people.
You can tell like we're big campers in this group. Not really.
I've never camped a day in my life.
No, me neither.
So we're going to have one of them each and every day, and it's funny. The logistics are something. The organising is doing my head in.
Yeah.
But the actual run itself, I feel, will be not the easy part, but easier. Like all I have to do is run. I don't have to think.
Yeah.
And because I'm moving, 63 k's a day, it's not like I'm in a race car. So we can slow things down and work out logistics on the fly without it being crazy. It's like, it's not like I'm trying to drive across America as fast as humanly possible. I'm running. Yeah. So you can step back and, all right, what do we have to do tomorrow? Where do we have to be?
Yeah, okay.
Can I ask, how many pairs of shoes will you pack?
So I'm looking at having 50 pairs for the run. Yeah. So I want to run a new pair every 500, 600 Ks.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I got to look at, like, my feet are everything.
Yeah.
So like I can't let it go as long as I normally would.
Yeah.
Because I have to make sure that my feet, my toes are okay to get up and go again the next day.
Yeah, right. That makes sense. Holy. Yeah. And what's your, like, how do you possibly approach training for something like that? What are you doing now? Because you're still a while out, aren't you?
Yeah, so I've just gone through 6 months to go. So I start on the 3rd of December.
Okay, gotcha.
Which feels a lifetime away, but also feels like tomorrow.
Yeah, right. So what are you doing at the moment?
So at the moment, I'm probably running 12 to 14 times a week, and I'm putting together about 150 to 200 Ks a week. And it's all just easy, slow, long running, just time on my feet, just getting used to pounding and trying to stay on, getting used to running on hard surfaces, so like concrete, bitumen, just getting used to what I'm going to be running on day to day whilst staving off injury.
Yeah.
And is there a place you're really looking forward to running? Like, is there somewhere like you're like, okay, I actually can't wait to go there and do this particular section?
Yeah, I that's probably one of the most common questions, other than, are you crazy? That's probably one of the most common.
We're getting there. Yeah.
That's probably one of the most common questions. But what I'm really looking forward to is like the people I meet.
Yeah.
More so than like the places I go. Like I'm picking a route for 2 reasons. One, I want to break the record.
Yeah.
But 2 is certain places I want to see. Like, so I want to go. I really want to run across the US.
Yeah.
So and the deep south.
Yeah.
Just because it's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's
a shame because like with your running, you won't exactly be able to like jump into a big bowl of jambalaya or anything like that. Delicious like that, surely.
Yeah, I may regret it 24 hours later.
What is in my stomach?
Yeah, this does not feel comfortable.
Yeah.
No, I probably won't be able to enjoy it, say if I was on a Kentucky tour.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the people, the people that I'm going to meet, and the weird things I'll see. I guess like being chased by some wild animal or shot at, or that sort of. Hopefully that happens less often than. But just
Might
a weird and wonderful. Yeah, it might get me through.
That day,
For some reason, he did 240 Ks that day.
yeah, this bear chase.
Heart rate was high.
Yeah, he beat the record by 41 days.
I was going to ask about that. You're trying to beat the record by one day. That's not a lot of wiggle room. Yeah.
No, so I've got 415 days.
Okay.
As my
Goal.
As
Your
my
target.
goal.
Okay,
Yeah, as my goal. And that is built in with the rest days.
Yeah.
So I've got about 15 to 20
Up
wriggle
sleeve.
days, just in case. Because I know, look what's happened in the world in the last 2.5 years. So I've delayed this through COVID as well.
Yeah, right.
So I know that
I think you can run in rain.
Like not floods, though.
Okay.
well, exactly. Yeah, well, that's
Good
true.
point,
Or really deep snow, or whatever
Yeah.
border crossing issues or visa issues. I'm having them now, and I'm still sitting in Brisbane.
Yeah, okay.
So
Gotcha.
And Tim, are you providing updates for people that want to follow you on this journey? Because obviously we'd love to follow.
Yeah, we're
It's
keen
just
as.
something that'd be awesome to follow in the preparation, but then obviously the process as well.
yeah. So that's something I'm getting better at.
Yeah.
Because it's weird because I'm so in it that I'm not working on it. So when I go to train, some people are really good at like filming and telling everyone what they're doing, whereas I've just got to get it done. But yeah, I'll have Instagram has been my main source of providing all information at the moment. I'll have a website. I have a website as well, just timrunstheworld.com. But I'm looking to set up a YouTube channel when I'm out there, and that'll be like a daily vlog, if you will.
Yep.
And I'm really keen to interview people that I come across on the run as well, just like the random punter
Yeah,
that I meet, and talk about why they're here, why they run or walking with me or something.
We'll definitely get those social handles up in our show notes as well for this podcast episode. And then I know there's some support for charity as well, which we obviously need to give you a chance to speak about too. Who are you supporting and who's it helping?
Yeah, so no doubt this is a particularly selfish endeavour. Like it's something that I want to go and do and have a crack at the adventure myself. But I'm lucky, everything about my life's lucky. Like I was born in Southeast Queensland to two of the greatest people of all time that have done everything for me. And as part of this journey, I want to give back. And there's a couple of charities that I'm really closely linked to. One of them is called Inspiring Brighter Futures. So I work closely with them as well. We provide mentor programs for disassociated youths, as well as domestic violence victims, Indigenous people, whether they be kids or adults as well. And we set goals with them. We work through other programs around finance, career development. So they're one of the partners. And then the Lung Cancer Foundation. So one of the girls on my crew lost her mother, unfortunately, to lung cancer. So I thought, what better way to help her and then to give back. And then the other one is the Wings for Life charity. So that's helping those with spinal cord injuries that can't run, don't have the privilege to run like I do. And they're closely linked with Red Bull, and Red Bull have been a really good supporter. So I just thought, what better way to give back than to those three charities? So that, it means heaps. It's now bigger than me, I suppose, which makes which puts more pressure on the run itself, but it gives it much more meaning and much more purpose. For it transcends me, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's perfect, man. It's great. We really look forward to sharing your story, what you're doing, and the record that you're trying to break. And we'll make sure that everyone has access, certainly all the chockies out there that are listening, have access to getting your social links and making sure they can follow along with that journey. We appreciate you coming on the We Got the Chocolates podcast so much, mate. And I'll finish by telling you my favourite running joke, if you're ready.
No, that's all right. We didn't ask.
No, I did. What is it?
I'm looking forward to it.
Goes like
Okay,
this.
here we go.
Did you know, actually, that I used to be a marathon runner?
Did you?
I couldn't stand the agony of defeat.
Oh,
Get it? Because like you've
I've got it. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
Much preferred Tim's.
Well, that hurts.
Because mine sucked.
Thanks very much, Tim.
No, thanks for having me, gents.
Thanks, buddy.
Cheers, mate. All right, beautiful. Thank you, Tim. Great gear, that
Wasn't it?
What a man.
That was such a good chat.
Bloody hell.
I could have gone for a long time,
That blows my mind. And yeah, it could have gone for a long time because he hung around here and kept chatting.
We honestly was like, don't leave.
Yeah. there's a lot more to ask. We didn't even get to the bloody marathon in his lounge room thing. That's man.
Yeah, we were like, we'll drive you home, but he insisted on running.
Yeah. Where do you live, mate? Melbourne.
Yeah. Anyways, no, beautiful. But moving on, I've spotted something during the week, or maybe Lethal, you might have sent it to me even. A cricket club over in England has taken a new sort of tactic to try and recruit some players for the next season. They've started using Tinder.
Yes.
And I think so. They're posing as a male.
No, they're posing
as a female profile to get males to swipe across and see that a cricket club's looking for players. Exactly. And their profile picture is like a beer in front of a game of cricket.
I don't want to be picky, but it's not a beer I'd choose. There's not enough haze in there for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think
that looks like a lukewarm lager.
I don't think they're working too hard on the photography. They're like the beer's blurry and half drunk. Not that attractive. Can't be cricket.
So you swipe. I don't know how.
Yeah, what do you reckon?
Like,
I was trying to work out, do you swap?
Yeah,
people won't believe this. I can't remember whether you swap left or. I think left is no go. If you swap left means no.
Left
thanks.
is no go. Right is you're on.
I wouldn't say hit, but means I'll go for a hit at the cricket.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
That's
the cricket.
what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, yeah, I have no idea. But point being, would you say yes or no? I guess it's almost a must or does segment.
Nice. Good. Well done.
Well, I mean,
Left or right? Yes. No. What's the verdict?
I'm
No,
not,
no.
I think if I'm using Tinder, I'm not looking for that.
No, you'd be a bit disappointed, I guess, wouldn't you? Also, I saw this post and then saw our pre-season schedule for next season.
Oh, of course, your fucking preseason starts tomorrow.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. I was like, come on, the 5th of July, give me a break.
Are you joking?
I'm still celebrating me bloody threes win, man.
Mate, our season starts in the last week of July.
Yeah, but Mitch is the third grade skipper. He determines when the preseason starts.
Exactly.
And you know when it is? It's the Tuesday before round one.
Yeah.
He's also the third grade skipper, so his season starts 8 weeks later.
Yeah, that helps. Good point. All right.
So you don't probably have to be there on the 5th of July, Skin.
All men's senior players.
If you're there on the 5th of July, I'm not coming on whatever that next Monday is.
I won't be there on the 5th of July, so don't worry.
I thought you were going to say you won't be there on the Monday either. That could be real issues in the podcast. Me and Bigger's talking about Simpsons and only one of us knows about Simpsons.
Leigh.
And it's me and Nelson.
What are we talking about here? We've got off track.
Well, yeah, I was going to use a bit of a rogue segue, but the shitty photo of a beer, I was going to use to bring up a story from the weekend. Lethal and I went for a beer. Didn't invite you, gang.
I heard all about it though because I've been on that tour, that exact same tour from Bucks do, and it's a fucking great tour.
It was, it was good fun. We had a great time, some more than others, but
I've heard it was good.
Did you get e-jazzed?
Leigh was cooked.
What happened to him? Big boy hazies.
I had the same amount as Mitch. I don't know where things went so wrong.
Yeah, someone must have spiked you.
No,
that must be it.
That must be it.
Yeah, because that's what people do on craft brewery tours. That's what they think it's party time.
I wasn't suggesting that. I was just suggesting Mitch is a much better.
Can you tell me what beers you had at each spot?
No, that's shit podcasting, and I don't remember.
Oh, sorry, about the joke you told the bloke a joke about fucking an anus 10 minutes ago.
I mean, we obviously didn't explicitly say that.
Point being, I went up to grab myself another beer. By the time I came back, Leigh was not there, and I got a message. Got a message about him being cooked. Ended up in the car. We drove back, stopped for him to vomit, and then we had plans of we were going to catch up for dinner that night and stuff. And he was just dust. So there you go. Thanks,
they
Leigh.
get you. The big heavy boys get you.
Man, that was
good day though.
Might have been. If you saw me walking around on Saturday night, I apologise. If you're in Brisbane and happened to see me trying to get my way to the car, holy Moses!
Who picked you up?
Girl I'm getting to know.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
Yes, lovely. Also, how weird is it? As great as those tours are, great people, obviously. Give it a back, get around them. But what? Who wants a beer at 9:30 in the morning? We had to be.
We had
I had a couple the Friday night before. The Friday just gone, I was up till a reasonable hour having a few beers. I was getting there.
Yeah.
And then I was like, nah, calling it quits because I know I've got to be back on the beers for breakfast. And then you're sitting there at Brewdog having a beer and tacos for breakfast.
Oh, how good are the tacos
It is
there,
a
though?
weird feeling.
Can
Oh,
I
it's great.
can I quickly
I'm not
sidetrack?
complaining. I was just so confused.
Can I sidetrack? We sort of skipped over the segment. Doesn't really matter, though, does it?
No.
We did that in the exact same order you guys did it in as well. And like we had a shot in the morning, it's Bucks Fuddies, you do that type of stuff, yeah. But so we did that exact same tour. It was a Bucks place. So usually we went to casino. We had a steak and then went to casino.
Right,
yeah.
gotcha.
Obviously, you're not
and
idiots.
then it got not an idiot. Obviously, like you said, we had that first beer at 9:30 when that first boat lands, right? At the casino, whatever time it was, and then we're like, oh, we've had enough. And then someone goes, oh, we'll have one more beer. So, oh, not really. So all day, like drinking like beautiful craft beers, and we moved on to like spice rums and stuff like that. The last beer, I mean, they're wonderful people, obviously, if they want to spend, but a stubby of 4X dry to finish the evening.
What the heck's a 4X dry?
Is that like a bitter?
Yeah, but like a mid-strength bitter, and I just sort of like had like 2 sips, and I looked at my mate of mine and was like, nah.
No, thanks.
No, thanks. Just left it under the blackjack table. Just got the fresh out of there.
Yeah, no, well played.
Yeah. Beautiful. Good segue. Smooth as a bum.
You're starting from scratch.
Yeah.
This part anyway.
Yeah. Guys, we've had some, I guess, retirement news in the sporting world in Australia. You know, we've mentioned, how many times on this podcast have we mentioned that we love sports commentary?
How much do we love sports commentary?
Many.
A lot.
Great
Like out of 10, it would be at least 3.
Yeah. But
Right
at
up
least
there.
so. One of the greats retired, Ray Rabs Warren, that's a tongue twister, isn't it?
Yes.
Has officially retired. He hasn't been doing any of the NRL this year.
No, I was going to ask you that.
He hasn't done anything this year. And I was sort of, my gut feel, without sort of reading too much into it, I thought he was going to just sort of come in at about round 10, do a couple of warm games, and then go straight into Origin. But he's sort of officially just before Origin 1, which is, what's today? Well, it's tomorrow night.
It was last night.
Oh, yeah.
So it was last
by
night
the
for
time
those
you're
listening. Yes, last night. Or 2 nights ago for those watching on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, congratulations to Queensland on that win.
Yes. Caleb Ponga, what a player.
Also, we always say this about the days we post them, but then like they stay posted. Someone could be watching it next week, and it's
They all listen as soon as I set my alarm for 6:30 that morning. But anyway, so Ray Warren officially retired. He commentated 99 Origin games. So I don't know.
What?
99 Origin games he commentated.
Why would you not get your 100?
I don't know. It's
good point.
It's so I don't know about you guys, but it's going to be very, very different listening to Origin without Rabs.
Agreed.
Yeah.
There. So for me, for like the whole eternity, I reckon, of our sports, like so it's cricket, AFL, and league are our big sports here, and then you could probably throw Union in there 10 years ago, but like Bruce McAvaney and Dennis Kameni with the AFL, Rabs with the rugby league, and then Richie
Benham and
Bill Laurie, Tony Gregg,
those type of operators, cricket.
Yeah, so it's I guess a big part of our childhood sort of going to be missing from the Origin screens come tomorrow night, and I think Matt Thompson's doing it. I'm fairly certain. Who's very, very
He's
good.
been good.
He's been
Really
very, very
enjoyed.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
What were you going to say, Lethal?
I was just going to say I'll put it up on the Instagram page too. We got the Chocolates Instagram page asking for any rugby league fans out there your favourite Ray Warren piece of commentary. And
Can I guess one?
yeah, go on.
It was a Brett Mullins try one.
Yes, Brett Mullins I'd read. Yes, indeed. The that's not a try, that's a miracle.
Yeah,
That
1994 Mark Coyne.
Yeah, but there was one that actually came up like multiple times, and the reason I didn't go through heaps and heaps of sound grabs from them is because I actually saw on TikTok today, look, bloke in a bar has already done like a great rap of some of his best bits of commentary. So you can go up and have a listen to that. But this one,
plenty of people would have already done them.
yeah, well, heaps of people would have done them. We're going to go a different angle, but this one just came up so many times from the Chockies. I thought I'd better play.
Hodgson around to Carey. Hodgson lassoed by Tallis. Look at Tallis. Look at Tallis. He drags him over and out of the rectangular ring.
It's so, like, the commentary is that good, I reckon, that you can... I can still visualize Gordy dragging him by the collar, basically.
I think I love that. Yeah, like I love that commentary because I love that tackle. Like I remember watching that tackle, and it was like the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Well, that's what
it's almost like looking back in hindsight. You're like, wow, the commentary really makes sense.
Well, that's what the thing we keep like why sport commentary is so good. Like for me, like the best call of anything is Maccabi Diva's 2005 Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, I think
I've mentioned that a few times. I can see. I know you're not a horse racing fan. I can see Maccabi Diva like weaving its way through the field, and like the exact point where Greg Miles sort of started to call, and like he sort of paused. He was because in horse racing you call the runners sort of in order, sort of blah blah blah, and he sort of said something, and then all of a sudden he went, and here's Maccabi Diva, a nation roars for a hero. And like you can just see that, I can see it visually because all of a sudden Maccabi Diva sort of went whoosh 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 out and then away, and he just paused, calling every other horse, and then just went to Maccabi Diva, who was winning its third Melbourne Cup. And for me, that's just like I'm pitching a tent sort of stuff.
You also really like that.
I'm glad I know that.
I do like when and succulent Chinese meals, believe it or not. But Leigh, you wanted to talk a little bit about Rabs and Phil Gould. And
great. Yes.
And like we spoke about Richie with Bill and Tony, and then Chappelli as well with that commentary team. But that Channel 9 commentary team in the early days where it was, Rabs, we call him with Fatty and Sterler, and then Gus on the sideline with his expert commentary. But you wanted to talk about a little bit the banter between Rabs and Gus.
Exactly right.
Phil Gould, for those who sort of aren't overly familiar. I think you've got a few audio.
Not as familiar as Lethal. Remember, didn't Gus reply to your tweet or something?
He replied to me. We were friends on Twitter.
He didn't block you?
You're pretty much best mates.
Yeah. No, and a lot of people do actually not enjoy Gus, but I love, because our podcast is so much built on that sort of chemistry and locker room sort of banter, I guess, between us. I think we had that in a review at the start about sort of mates just making each other laugh. And these two, Gus and Ray, Warren, I used to love listening to so much. Like, I actually really like Gus, which is controversial.
So do I. I agree.
But these are class, I reckon. I've picked out 3 of their best moments.
I'm looking forward to it. As I haven't prepared as per usual.
Yeah, bit of chemistry for you.
Miracle tries in the history of the game. I think he scores the try if he's not held back.
You heard Bernard Sutton say, because of the bounce
I
of
know
the
what
ball,
he said. I'm saying what I'm saying.
I am not beyond reasonable doubt.
I know, but I'm saying what I'm saying. I've got no doubt.
I understand you've never got any doubt. You've never got any doubt.
They get them down from anywhere these days. They pull them back from the grandstand.
That's 5 times you've said.
They get them down from anywhere these days.
I used to love when they do that. Like it'd be like a Thursday night game, it'd be like a shit game of footy between like. Who do I want to offend?
South Sydney Rabbits.
Gold Coast Seagulls.
Yes, and the South Queensland Crushers. And like nothing's happening, like no one cares, right? And they'd all of a sudden start bickering like about stuff like an old married couple. I used to love that. You just got through those shit games. Right?
Yeah, exactly. This is his next one where he's talking about Sam Cassiano.
Yes, he used to play for the Bulldogs and Storm. Yeah,
exactly. So it's at pre-game, like hasn't even kicked off yet, and Rabs goes this run.
You've grown since you were born. You were born as 4 kilos. I was there when he was born. Midwife Rabbits.
Well, that would be a scary sight for your first introduction to planet Earth, wouldn't it? Looking up at midwife rabbits.
I reckon you'd want to hurry up.
I'd want to go back.
You just can't beat it. I love it so much. And the final one that I really enjoy. This is these two just giving it to each other essentially.
Got a nice wide world of sports jumper on there, Brad Fiddler. Been here 5 minutes and you got one of those, Rabs? I haven't seen one of those.
I haven't seen a Channel 9 jumper since I joined with Darryl Eastlake back in '88.
Rubbish. You've got about 3 dozen in plastic folders in the boot of your car. Don't interrupt me. You've got them all in the boot of your car.
Soward playing the ball.
You've got 2 dozen in there. You've never
Stanley
opened.
for Gaznia.
Why don't you share them?
Why don't you shut up for a moment?
Very good. That's awesome.
I need like a recording of that, him saying that I can play on this podcast every time you two get on. Why don't you shut up for a moment?
Nah, funny. But also, no, it's going to be sad when we don't hear Ray. But Matty Thompson, I'm sure, will do a great job. So
Yes, and did last night. Obviously,
last night. Oh,
obviously, great people.
How about that call that try that Queensland winger scored to win the game?
To win the game after the buzzer.
Anyway.
All right. Well done, Gode. Very well done. Hey, guys, I've got a game for you that we haven't actually played for a while. I'll play the jingle and then I'll explain it for you.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, it's the Urban Dictionary. I've got some slang in mind that I really want you to define.
But how do you get the voice so crystal clear?
Just so we're layered, isn't it? Oh, my goodness.
Jeez, that's great.
It is puff pastry levels of layering.
I really feel sorry for our listeners. They must just
what do you mean? You had that joke before. They would have loved.
If they've got this far, I think they'll be fine.
They haven't reported us yet.
They'll survive.
Right. Yes, so the game, Urban Dictionary, or Fictionary, as we call it, a game where we increase or sometimes decrease our vocabulary and try and work out, A, whether a word is real, and then B, if it is, what it actually means. So I've had to prepare this in a different app, on a different little phone, in fact, so that
Why
we
is
can
that?
go through it. Well,
So
because
we
we
can't
want you
see
guys
it.
to be able to read it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I got that far down the run sheet.
But Mitchell,
obviously.
Mitch will go look at it and miss it, probably.
Mitch will do fucking the normal dictionary on all the words for some reason. I just want to be prepared.
Okay. Oh, geez, I couldn't be more prepared here. I've got thinking music and everything for you. So you understand, you remember how the game, I read out.
That sounds like a twist. I don't remember that if the word is real.
word's real.
I thought we were always just getting the definition.
Yeah, I just added that in.
Yeah,
No, good. Thanks for telling us. That's
I remember how the game works, but it's different this time.
Yeah. You remember how that game works, which is completely different? Yeah, that one? Yeah.
Remember that game we played like 6 weeks ago? We're
Yeah,
not
it's
playing that
completely
tonight,
different, but it's the same.
But you should work it out. Yeah.
All right, here you go. I've got three for you. And the first one, I'll read the word and an example sentence. You try and tell me the definition.
All right.
The first word is defenestrate. Harry made me so irritated, I had to fight the urge to defenestrate him. And just wait for this.
Thanks, Eddie.
Hang on. Real word. Like, not just Urban Dictionary, like Oxford Dictionary.
The word is defenestrate.
Thanks.
That's not a real word.
I'm saying not a real word.
Yeah.
No.
Both complete idiots.
Okay.
And I don't have it
Deaf
wrong.
and straight.
Do I have an incorrect sound on
I
here?
couldn't get any more prepared for this segment.
I don't know. I've got a correct answer, which is stupid because neither of you two idiots
As if
ever
we
get
get it
this
right.
Yeah.
Deaf and straight.
Exactly. Deaf and straight means to...
Hold on, you haven't given us the chance to guess what it means yet.
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. You've only told us it is
Yeah.
a word.
You're running
so
the
we
segment,
can still
remember?
work out
No,
what
you
the
got it
word
wrong.
means.
You had to log in.
No, but there's two parts to this new game, apparently.
Yeah,
that we
and
fucking
you
never
just
knew
failed on
about.
the first part, so
Oh,
you don't
right.
get to the second
No,
part.
it's like-
It's like
I
the
would
Hunger,
argue we
it's the
did.
Hunger
I
Games
need
of
fine
podcasting.
lines.
No, you don't.
Okay, all right.
It was a real word, and the word meant to throw a person or thing out of the window.
Well, that's a bit harsh.
What do you mean?
Fine.
To throw someone out of the window? Yeah, I'm not saying you have to go out and do it. I'm just saying that's what the word
What is it?
meant.
Defecate.
I think that's something
That's
else.
something else. That's to throw something else out the window.
It's defenestrate was the word.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Very
Anyway,
good.
good luck. Next one. Futhork.
Spell it.
Futhork, which is Futhork. He used a futhork to dig his way back. Sorry, used a futhork to dig his back garden. Is the example sentence.
Again, I'm going not a word because I'm so experienced on the tools in the back garden. You know, I would know what a futhork is if it were a tool. Obviously. Obvious.
There's a futhork over there if it's a tool.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. I was gonna say
Well,
the
I mean, for the sake of the thing, I'm going to say it is a real word, just so we're opposite at least.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
what's
Is that
it
good
mean?
podcasting?
If it were a real word, what's it mean?
Futhork.
And I'm going to have a guess too because I don't like the rules of the
No,
game.
you can't have an egg in both camps. An
Well,
egg
I'm
in
doing
both
it.
an egg in both chicken coops.
Saying said wrong, leader, isn't it?
You can't have a leg in both camps.
Leg in both camp.
All right, Gode, what's it mean?
What was this word again?
I'm saying
Futhork.
Yeah.
It's obviously something to do with a fork, you assume.
In the back garden.
So you've put a spike on the end of your foot and you're digging with it. Futhork.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Futhork.
That's brilliant.
That is. I'm not saying my guess now. Well done, Gode.
Nah, it's a made up word.
Okay.
It's the stupidest fucking game ever.
So, Mitch, for you.
Oh, yeah, I'm on. Right. All right, come on.
And final one. So that makes it 1-0 skin.
Yep.
Is that right? 1-0 to Mitch.
Yeah, that's it.
Here you go. The last one is a hope fillet. Hope fillet.
Not a hokey fillet.
No, I prepared Jenna a serious hope fillet last night when she came over for dinner. Hang on.
Which direction are we taking this? Hope fillet.
Hope fillet.
I don't know.
Who's locking in the guess first?
I'm saying it's a real word.
I was saying it's a real word too, but you go first because I had to do the last one.
It's an Urban Dictionary word. Great people.
All right, so it's real. We get that right at least.
Yep.
A hope fillet. Hope fillet.
Fillet.
I'm thinking outside, very outside the box. I'm really clutching at straws.
We know how you went with your last
Weirdly
outside
enough,
the box.
it's actually got more to do with being inside the box.
Okay. Well, no, I'm thinking just not a dinner item, but she's coming around for dinner and gets some emotional support.
No,
Okay.
I'm going to say
Hope.
I'm
She
going to
gets
say
hope.
it's something along the lines of he's promised her some form of after hours.
Okay, that's probably further outside the box. Back in the box.
Horizontal folk dancing sort of scenario.
I don't know that I can give that to either of you.
Okay.
I'll read you the exact definition
on.
and then you debate.
Okay.
Exact definition for a hope fillet. When a man attempts to prepare a meal for a woman with the main course consisting of any type of filleted meat or fish in hopes of wooing a dinner guest.
I'm pretty close there. Then.
I wouldn't say you were that far from the mark, really.
We got to give that one all.
I think
Surely.
that's probably got to go to Gode, yeah.
You're happy with that?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Great, I just got out of the sound effects, so just give me a second.
Geez, but how prepared is he? Though?
There's
That's
a
the thing.
dinner, yeah.
There it is. Well done, Gode. 1-1. Well, we don't have a tiebreaker, so move on.
What a segment.
Really prepared this segment.
That's good. Lucky that was at the back end.
There's no way it could possibly get to a 1.
You're a fuckwit. And you're also a fuckwit.
What do you mean?
said it
You
at
said
the
it.
start.
I said it. No, and then he looked at me like I'd done
How
something.
can I just be in trouble for looking?
You just brought
No,
our attention
you know
to the
who
horrendous
is
thing you said. After you've insulted my joke all episode, you bring that out.
I think you did it 5 times.
You know who's to blame for this? Jed.
Yeah. Bloody hell, Jed. Come on, mate.
Always call again, Jed.
Every week.
Every week, please.
And she just comes in here.
Are you doing?
I'm doing tweet of the week. Absolutely.
You're
But
in for a tweet, mate. We gave it a cool name.
Oh, yeah, you're in for a
But
tweet.
we've at
You-
least
remember,
gotten
you've
that
got to do
right once
the
or
you've got to
twice.
do the tweet.
Shit. I couldn't be more prepared.
All right.
How's that?
That was good.
Okay, cool. So it's like not a 2-parter, but it's like a reply to a tweet. You happy with that?
Sure.
Fine, beautiful.
They're still tweets.
All right, so this is from Luke Buckmaster. Lucky you put the B there. United Australia Party.
Otherwise, it would just be Uckma.
Yeah,
that's what I
you
meant.
couldn't say that.
United Australia Party spent more than $100 million and polled worse than the legalised cannabis party in the last election.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is from the Dummy Telegraph, which is obviously a parody account. It was close. Spliff the difference.
Nice.
I don't know what that is, obviously.
Neither.
No idea.
That's really good.
Happy with that?
Thank you, Gode. Yeah. And that was you're in for a tweet.
Nice. Well done.
And rightio, that's another We Got the Chocolates podcast complete. We welcome you to be a part of the Chockies crew and get around us on the socials or get in touch at the website.
Yep, correct. So the website is wegotthechocolates.com.au. And social media is obviously Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, etc. And we're just We Got the Chocolates. We ask that podcast specific things go to our email, don't we?
Yeah,
Hello
we
at wegotthechocolates.com.au.
Yeah. And don't forget to firstly watch our YouTube videos, which have been going gangbusters too the last
Which
few.
you set your alarm for.
I set my alarm for.
Yeah, everyone else should as well.
Yeah.
Friday, but not too early because Leigh might be running late one
Yeah.
week or something.
But they also go out at 9 a.m, so you really shouldn't need your alarm set.
Well,
I mean,
but
depending
you
on where
do.
you are in the world. I set my alarm, but that's how it goes out.
You are busy. But like, so not only watch it, leave a comment as well. I
Yeah.
reckon.
Cody likes reading them,
I
but
like
hates
them.
replying to them. So
Yeah.
And
I
also,
don't know how, so I don't have an account.
also send in any stories or thoughts on
Yes,
things that
absolutely.
we have covered via the voice message, as we spoke about earlier
Yeah,
in the
that's big
podcast.
part.
And we'd love to do a little give you a listening to segment coming up soon. So all of those voicemails have been collated for that, which would be fantastic. And from Gode, Mitch, and myself, thank you so much for listening. We love making this, and we're very, very glad that you listen. And remember to cherish the small wins and good times throughout the week. If you're doing that, you are absolutely getting the chocolates. What's wrong with that?
you can, yeah, it's fine.
It's just deep, isn't it?
It's just that got really emotional. You're allowed to use one from like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
You don't have to write a fresh one every week.
And you also don't have to cry when you read it.
It's all good, mate. Well,
The small wins.
Read to your friends.
No, I meant small wins. Is like, it's not that deep. Like,
Yeah,
I went to
good.
the fridge today and there was milk in it. I was like, that's the dream.
And then you went to the freezer and there was milk in there too.
Yeah, which is weird.
That's
Why is
really
there
weird.
milk
Why
in
is
the
there
freezer?
milk in your
My
freezer?
mother-in-law does the same thing. Fuck.
It's really strange.
That'll be
And
good.
that's probably a bonus episode as well. Perfect. We'll definitely speak to you this time next week. And as always, good luck in the future. That stops.
Well, that's the podcast. So what the hell are you still doing here? Go and get the chocolates, you marvellous beast.